used for the goal seek scenario manager. That will be very useful. It is called as a what if analysis. What if analysis is basically used where is the you have to give any prediction of this value at that moment. You have to use this particular value is goal seek. Now we want to use this value on the basis of goal seek or scenario manager. Yes, what if analysis is basically part of data what if analysis. You have to go for in the data tab, then go for the what if analysis tab. You have to view this value. Now you can see my screen is this one is my share yours my screen. You can see here this is all are the what if analysis option is available. You have to go for the data tab. What if analysis basically have a three parts. Is converted into the three part. Goal seek scenario manager data table. First we have to this is all are the one type of, you can say it's a prediction of this value. You can any predict of this value with using of goal seek. What if analysis, what if it's mean that what if analysis available when the any condition is basis on the basis of this value. This is called as a what if analysis. What if analysis is make sure that this is a goal seek scenario manager and data table. Now it's a only use of the particular analysis. For example, you have to do the for you have to call as a share market is basically work from the what if analysis on the basis of what if analysis. Basis of what if analysis, you have to do this value from the data. So have to put this value on the data and you have to prediction of this any value. This is called as a what if analysis. Plus yes, some criteria have in a goal seek, what if analysis, scenario manager all have a particular criteria. So we have to do on the basis of criteria. It will be work on this, so it will be particular work from this one. So it will be uses from this one. Goal seek data table and scenario manager. You can use this goal seek data manager and scenario and data manager. From this we have to do this value. Goal seek is one type of prediction, predict of the value. For example, if I am writing here some value from amount. If I am writing here the rate, for example, the amount is 12,000 and rate is 15% rate, and then you have to do this value multiply by this percentage. Yes, definitely function is available in your site. So this is a very useful from your side whenever you want to do this amount rate, and the basis of amount rate you want to find out the percentage value, so it will be helpful for us. But yes, if any formula is working at that time, you have to work this value on the basis of amount rate and the percentage. Now go for the what if analysis and goal seek. Goal seek must have a one criteria is your percentage value is required. So percentage value you have to put out the particular percentage value. So here the two value, for example, two value is set the value of V3. V3 is your formula tab. Now this value I want to 19,000 by changing of what? If I'm changing the amount and okay, this is called as you called as it, this is a reverse calculation. Yes, definitely it is a reverse calculation will be work. So reverse calculation is a very useful from your side whenever you do with this value. Now what if analysis, goal seek, if I'm going with the what if analysis and goal seek, if I'm to value is for example 12,000 on the basis of by changing of what, by changing of percentage, and okay, you have to do this. This is a 9%, and this will be 2. Why we use this formula? This is a very useful. Yes, this is very useful from your side, because whenever you are putting the data into Excel, at that time this formula is very useful from your side. Yes, for example, if you are taking a loan from bank, at that time banking loan is very useful from your side, but different bank rate is a different. So at that time we have to what to do. At that time we have to place a goal seek. At that time we can convert all the value. Now my budget is only for this. 12,000 is my only budget. Have then what have to percentage to pay on my loan. That is a very useful from your side whenever you are doing from the loan amount. Whenever you are giving your personal loan, this value will be very useful. The personal loan, then loan amount, then PPF, then PMT function. All this value we want to calculate this value on the basis of this one. Now for this basis, for example, we have a total 3 days: PT1, PT2, and PT3. And here is a total. PT1 value is, for example, 100 out of I am taking 60. Here is 70 and here is 80. And total is about this 1. This is a sum of this value, for example. Sum of this number 1, number 2, and number 3. Sum of this value to 10. If I am delete this value on the basis of this value is 130. This is if I am delete the PD3 value. For example, goal seek required only and only for the formula. If you have a formula, goal seek work done. If I am going from the what if analysis and goal seek value by changing of what B9, because B10 have a formula. This is value is to 10. For example, if I am putting to 10 by changing of this value. If this value is 80, then this percentage value is this one. If I am giving this value on the point wise, then what can I do? If I am changing this value is B10, B10 have a formula. By changing this value is a 215.50, for example. By changing of what? By changing of this value, 80 value. If 215.50, then PT3 value is 85.5 value. So you have to put out this value on the basis of this one. Now, what can I do? In this value, okay, for you can have a find out this value. But what is the disadvantage? Goal seek always require the formula. That is a first disadvantage. Goal seek always required the formula. This is a disadvantage of the goal seek. What is the second your second disadvantage of goal seek is he always find out at that moment only one argument he is find out. For example, in this argument he is only find out PT3. He cannot find out PT2 and PT1 because on the one argument he is passing from this PT1 and PT2 and PT3. For example, if I am using from what if analysis goal seek by changing of this value. For example, the value is 250 by changing of what cell? By changing of PT1 cell. For example, you can do this. This is changing from this value. So make sure that you want to see this value on the basis of this one. So you can do this value is a 250 on the basis of 117 and this one. Now, what can we do on the basis of this one? You have to put out all the value on the goal seek. Next is scenario manager. All are the prediction of the value. You have predict the value. You can give the any big formula with using of this one. But yes, same formula is working on the same cell at same place. So make sure that this is only one argument. You can use this argument. Now second is a scenario manager. Scenario manager is very useful from your side because different scenario, this value is a it will be changed. For example, for add, if this value is 15 percentage, it means that 0.15, for example, I will put out here. If I am taking a 20 percentage, on the basis of 20 percentage, this value is 0.20. This is different scenario. Add this, if this value is for example 13 percentage, it's a 0.13. It's a 14 percentage. 14 percentage is a 0.14. 19 percentage. 19 percentage, it's a 0.19. This is all are the different scenario. You have to change the particular value which you have to put out the scenario. Here is a percentage is one scenario. You can put out the value on the scenario on the percentage value. You can see here, if you are doing from the 19 percentage, if you are doing from the 14 percentage, if you are doing from the 30 percentage, if you are doing from 20 percentage. For example, these all are the bank rate. You can use this bank rate on the basis of a particular value. So this one is very useful from your side because all the different percentage wise, you have to find out any value on different percentage wise. If the for example, SBI take the loan from 15 percentage. So if I am taking a 15 percentage, then how much amount I pay? If the Bank of India is giving the loan from 13 percentage, so if I am putting a 13 percentage here, how much I pay? So this is a different scenario. You want to add the scenario. On the basis of the scenario, you have to put out this value. So this value is very useful when you are putting this value on the basis of this particular value. So 20 percentage, so 13 percentage. This is different scenario. If I am saying that all the scenario is taking from one argument from this side, then what can I do from this side? Taking from one argument from this one, it's called as a scenario. If I am putting all the scenario together, this is a possible in the Excel. All the scenario manager, it will be shown in a one Excel file. There's different cell. Here you can changing created by. This is a created by Nidhi on particular date. How it is Nidhi? It's come from this side because you can see here file and particular workbook name is you can see here the workbook name is Nidhi. So that's why it will be show as a Nidhi value. Here is a show the value is Nidhi. So you can see here show this value is, here is what if analysis, scenario manager and creative. You cannot edit this value on that time, but you can add this value first. We will go for the home tab. At that time you can see this value. See this value on the basis of this one. Now this is a different scenario. You can see that scenario is 80 13 percentage, 14 percentage, 15 percentage. If you are taking all the bank percentage, so you now have a clearly idea about the particular value. So in this value, on the basis of this one, you have to put out any value. Now we have to merge this value, sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. We have a 5 scenario in a different sheet, but we have only one scenario, so we cannot put out here. Now scenario summary, all the percentage on the same basis. Result cell, here is you can put out the result cell here. Then percentages, different percentages here. This is all are the scenario summary. Now you can see here, if the value is 13, then this cell value is this one. If the SBI percentage is 13 percentage or 15 percentage, then you have to pay this one amount. If any bank take the loan of this 20 percentage, then this one amount will be percentage value. If this is 13%, then this value. If it is 14%, then this value. If it is 19%, then this value will be. If I am putting here the 13%, then you can put out here the value is this one value. So different bank amount, you can see here different bank value. On the basis of different bank value, you have to put out this value. So you can clearly idea about this one. So how to bank given the loan on particular amount from 13, 15, 20, 13%, 14%, and 19%. This is a different file. It will be created on that time. So this is a much better than, so we cannot change our source file. This is only for changing our manipulate file. So it will be changing on this one file. Now I am going from the what if analysis, and what if analysis if I am going from the scenario manager. On the scenario manager, if I am going from the summary table and scenario pivot table report, you can see here the scenario pivot table report is here. This is a pivot table. You can put out the any value. This is pivot table. You have no idea about the pivot table, but this is a only functionality which will provide about the scenario manager. So you can see here this is a different scenario. Have a different pivot table value you can put out in the pivot table value. So you have to put out all the value on the basis of pivot table. Author value. This is all are the author percentage name. So this is a different scenario wise. You have to put out the value from different wise. So now you have a clear idea what is a scenario manager and what is a goal seek. Now what is the difference between goal seek and scenario manager? Goal seek have a one particular value. This is 30%, 20%. You can change one value at the same time, only one value change on one time. If you are using the scenario manager, you have a multiple values and you can put this value in multiple times. So that is a mainly difference between goal seek and scenario. In a scenario manager, there are different scenario is using, and a goal seek there is a different goal seek value is using. For example, if I am using any formula, for the example, if I'm using the any formula, for example, I'm using if I'm doing this value, here we will use the random function. If I'm not using random function, then I will put out this value from 50 plus 10. Now I'm putting the auto sum value. On the basis of auto sum, we want to create a sum value. On the basis of auto sum value, if I'm using in a data tab and what if analysis and goal seek value, but to value by changing of value, if this value is particularly 300, by changing of what, by changing of if the subject 1 or subject 2 value, you can put out this value on the basis of cell must be contain the formula. For example, F6 contain the formula. Yes, by changing of this cell value, you can see here what if analysis goal seek set this value is 300 by changing of what, 80. Cell must be contain any value. Here is a error. What is this error? here you can see all are the number value. This is number value. Now this all are the number value. Here you can do the data validation and what if analysis and go for the goal seek command. By 2 the value is 300. By changing of this 100 value, here you can see cell contain a value. It means that cell is not containing the particular value. At that time he will give this error. For example, this value plus this value plus this value. You can see this is a value, this is a number or not. At that time you have to do this. This is a number. Now go for the goal seek. This is a F8 value to this value. Changing of this value is 300. By changing of what cell? This one cell value. And okay, now it will be work or not. Cell must be contain a value. Cell must be contain. Formula is not wrong, but cell does not contain the particular value, so it will be error on this one. Cell is not contain the particular value. It's not contain particular value, so that time this is create a error. F8 to value is E3 and by changing of value is E8. E8 value, so it will be contain error. Now you can see here here is one formula. Go for the what if analysis. Go for the goal seek. B3. Here is a formula. To value. This value, for example, I will put out 15,000 by changing of what value? This one value. Here is a value. It will be changed on the basis of this one. You can see here. This is all are the general value. This is also general value. So why it is here create a problem? For example, here I will write down 50, 20 and 40. By changing of what? Sum this value. Right? 1, 1, 10. Data tab, what if analysis, goal seek, J5. This value will be converted to the 60 by changing of this value or otherwise as this value. For example, I'm changing from this value. This is automatically working. Set container value. Here we will put out this value on the basis of this one. So now it is clear from cells must be contain the value, not a parameter. So at that time it will give the error on the basis of this one. You can put out some value here also. So it will be easily work from your side. Yes, if it is horizontal way, then it will be easily find out. If it is vertical way, for example, if I'm putting here for 50, 20 and 40. This is some value. Go for the what if analysis. Goal seek by changing of 120 on the basis of 50. You can change this one. Now, this is a clear about your side. What is the meaning of goal seek? What is the meaning of scenario manager? This all are the basically useful when we are doing from the particular value and particular goal seek parameter. So this is a very useful your side whenever you do. Yes, we have to remaining data table, but data table is the biggest part from your side. So we will not consider in this value in this format because with the using of data table we will use the PMT function also. So first we will go for the PMT function, then we will go for the data table. So make sure that first you have to know about the PMT function, then after you know about the goal seek value. Sorry, data table value. Okay friends, and we will do for the next week.